results for 4 constituencies. The party maintains those 4 constituencies have already been validly declared and those declarations should be allowed to stand. Let's take a look at those constituencies and what the key issues are there. We already know there's Okankwe Central, where originally the NDC candidate was declared winner there in that constituency, Baba Sadiq Abdullahi. We also know that the EC set aside that declaration. Subsequently, it ordered EC to complete the process. We also know that the EC recollated and declared the NPP candidate and incumbent MP, Patrick Yabuama, winner of that constituency after recollation. Now the Supreme Court set aside the court order and recollation efforts. Then there's also Ablekuma North, another constituency where the NDC originally won. The EC set aside the declaration. We know then there was the court orders to the EC to complete the process. The EC could not complete the process due to destroyed pink sheets. You recall that the returning officer for that constituency had announced on that fateful Saturday that they couldn't complete the process because of these destroyed pink sheets. And then the Supreme Court, as you all know, set aside the court order and recollation efforts for Ablekuma North. Dom Kwabenya, where the NDC candidates, Elikpling Akurugu was declared winner in the original declaration. The EC set aside that declaration. The EC now cancels the results at one station and has announced the decision to rerun the election there in Abokobi, polling station 2 in Dom Kwabenya. So that will be a contest if it takes place between Michael Kwe Jr. and Elikpling Akurugu. In Tachiman South, the collation was scuttled at the constituency level. EC declared the NPP candidate winner. The Supreme Court set aside that declaration. So what's the NDC seeking in court now? How is that playing out? Lord Idwasare is there for us. Lord, good afternoon to you. Bring us up to speed what the court has been doing and saying.
Right, Kemini. So this morning, the High Court had the preliminary legal objection to the NPP suits, which sought to seek the court's order against the Electoral Commission to, as it were, collate and declare the results of the 4 constituencies that you mentioned earlier. Now, the lead counsel for the NDC, Edith Tamaklo, cited some reasons why he felt that suit by the NPP should be dismissed sensitively by the High Court. He indicated that per Section 16 and 20 of the PNDC law, 2A4, it basically categorizes or outlines what should be done in matters like that. Essentially, they noted that the NPP suit is an election petition disguised as a mandamus application, which in essence is to order the EC to collate and declare the results. He noted that they can't use a judicial review from the court to get this done because there are criteria that must be met and procedure that should be followed for this to be done. But the lead counsel for the NPP, Gary Namakon, he didn't take any of that. He said that to begin with, there is no results which have been declared. He maintains that the results declared are, as it were, unofficial. So it can't be said that they should use the election petition to seek whatever relief they want from the court. And so basically that's what it was about. Now, in his ruling, you realize that after the Supreme Court quashed the ruling by the High Court, a different judge was ordered to hear the case. And so today we had another judge hearing the matter, Justice Ejapon, hearing the matter today. And he said that he's going to adjourn the case to tomorrow to give his ruling on this preliminary objection that Edith Tamaklo made in court today. Now, even before the case started, there was an affidavit in opposition that had been filed by the Techiman South, but the interested party, which is the NDC, the person was not present, and so the counsel for the Electoral Commission, Justin Amenuvo, he told the court that they should stand the case down because he was served the affidavit of opposition yesterday, pretty late, and so he needed more time to go through it. Now, for Edigi Tamaklo, in his case, that the preliminary objection that he made, it was for NewsCentral. That was the initial one that he did, and then once that was heard, he used the same application for the remaining three that mentioned at the community.
I see. I want to find out from you, but perhaps before then, let's take a listen to the majority leader, Alexander Peña-Mark, and then I'll come back to you and find out where this leaves the case really until tomorrow. Let's take a listen now.
A court process may be slow, but with surety, you will get the results when you know you are on firm grounds. What it is about this, simply put, the Electoral Commission itself has stated with emphasis that there is no such thing as a declaration of results in Okaikwe Central, Ablekuma North, and Tema Central, as well as Dominico Abenya. So they have already administratively declared those results as illegal, and the Electoral Commission is doing its work. So this argument that they are declared results is neither here nor there. However, we have firm belief that in the end we will be victorious. There's no rush. We are following due process. You realize that initially they were on a part of violence. At least we've managed to bring them to the courtroom. We have managed to bring them to civility. We have managed to get them to abide by the rule of law. So that is our joy. This is MPP. We believe in the rule of law. We stand for the right thing being done. So we are not worried at all. Tomorrow, first, the court would determine the preliminary objection they raised regarding our application. Then we take the next step.
Some argue that if the Electoral Commission has agreed that there was no proper declaration so far, this could have been corrected by an administrative fiat. Why didn't you engage them?
But that is what they have done. You remember that we were all at Tesano police station. There was an agreement that we should all be at Tesano and do the collation. We were at the Tesano Police Training School. On Thursday, we agreed to do 4 constituencies. When they realized that we had won all, that was when they started making their noise. Then they threatened the EC, and in the process, EC wrote to the police to provide protection. And it was within that period of delay that we came to court for an order of mandamus and also for the EC to be protected by the security agencies so that they do their work. That's the application we're on. So there's no cause for alarm. Look, in an election, if you've won, you've won. If you've lost, you've lost. The records are there. All they are doing is to prevent the records from being pursued. But it will not end anywhere. They can't stop the law. So we are very patient. We are very patient.
For a layman, when we talk about challenging elections, the approach we've always seen.
There'll be more of that in subsequent broadcasts, but let's talk to Lord a bit longer now. Lord, listen, just a few things we need to clarify from that sound clip that we heard, or that video clip we heard of the Majority Leader, Alexander Peña-Mark. He talks about, the issue now going to court. Originally, the NDC was the first to take the suit to court, to take the issue to court. Would that be correct? Lord, unfortunately, I cannot hear you, but, very, very crucial point you're making there that indeed it is the NDC that took the matter to court first, isn't it? Well, look at us. It would appear that that conversation cannot continue. But Lord Edwasare is our court correspondent. He's been talking to us about that issue pending in court. Remember that it had gone all the way to the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court had given its orders, including the High Court, taking another look at the matter that had been brought before it. We'll go back to him and then talk more about that ruling we would hear of the very latest matter in court regarding the outstanding constituencies, the 4 that have been redeclared in favor of the NPP now. But in the meantime, 43 years ago, Ghanaians, while looking ahead to the new year, had an announcement that left many shocked.
The President, the Vice President, and all ministers and their deputies are dismissed from office. B. Parliament is dissolved. C. The Council of State is abolished. D. All political parties are proscribed.
It is therefore illegal for any person or persons to belong to or operate under any party.
Listen, I can assure you there's more to the story. You'll hear more in later broadcasts. Right now, however, a young military officer who had staged his entrance into Ghanaian politics barely 2 years earlier made a comeback, overthrowing the Hillary Liman-led government. The day has since become significant for believers in this revolution as they continue to market. Let's have a conversation with Noble Crosby Annan, who is covering this year's event, the 31st December Revolution event, and joins us with a bit more. Crosby, good afternoon to you. What can you report?
Well, coming in, if you can hear me, it's been a very entertaining morning, charged morning as well at the World Town Park. To see behind me that some supporters of the NDC, they are beginning to leave the premises. This is where it all happened. They were addressed by leaders of the party, including the chairman as well as the general secretary of the party. Essentially, what they are saying is that this victory that the NDC won on December 7th is a testament to the fact that the two-party government descended so low in governing the nation. TV3, for instance, was warning the incoming NDC government, the members of the party, as well as appointees, to take lessons from the defeats that the NDC suffered. It says that these party executives or appointees should make sure they eschew arrogance, they eschew pride, they eschew corruption, as these are the things that crippled the national government. He's also saying that he wishes that just celebrating the 31st December revolution, the commemoration of this event, subsequently could be done with the involvement of all political parties, because he does not see this as only an NDC, if you like, gathering. It is more of a national event that should be commemorated as such. We should take a listen to what TV3 has been saying, then we'll listen to what the chairman of the party, Joseph Silicus, has also been saying.
Leaders who have the courage to accept the truth when truth has to be accepted. Leaders who will not lie to the country that somehow the problem being faced is coming from Russia and Ukraine and from COVID, when it's clear that the leadership is not performing well. And as General Secretary, on behalf of the leadership of the party, I can give a clear promise that we will not allow that politics of deception to become the order of the day. The truth must be spoken. There's nothing wrong with accepting when you have it wrong. There's nothing wrong accepting it. Accepting it that I got this wrong is not weakness, it's actually strength. It also means that even in our quest for positions as we win, we must be conscious of the well-being of Ghana. 8 years have seen nothing but selfishness and greed. And that selfishness is all about me and me and me, and not about Ghana. Now, so if today, all you are thinking about is me and me and me, what I can get, it means you don't even understand the victory that we have just got. Every night, every morning when you wake up, your consciousness should be, what can we do to ensure that we deliver on the promises for the people? That we bring a new paradigm that becomes a foundation for tomorrow. Not a constant calculation, what can I get? And if I get that, what can I profit? If that's what you're about, you are not different from the degenerate and the decadent souls that have governed this country over the last 8 years.
Well, Fifi Kwete is the NDC's General Secretary. Crosby, who has been covering this commemorative event, is still with us. Crosby, we know that the chairman of the party has also been talking. What has he been saying?
Well, Johnson Yasiodi, the chairman of the NDC, like you said, he has been talking. And while reiterating the comments made by the General Secretary Fifi Kwete for the NDC government to remain grounded with the people and not lose touch with reality, else they step up the same fate of the outgoing NCP. Is also touching a little bit on the president awarding or honoring people yesterday at the National Award. So according to him, the award given by the president to these award winners at the event yesterday is a testament that the Akufo-Addo government, the president himself, is involved in the deterioration of the country. So he's saying that he oversaw it, and that is how come he's awarding people who contributed to the decay that we have experienced over the past couple of years, the past 8 years, mentioning how Akumsin points is he cannot think or imagine how it is possible for how Akumsin and
very well, let's take a listen, Crosby. I'll come back to you for a bit more on that.
For shooting and killing Ghanaians during elections. Why? Why should anybody be awarding a state honor to Brian Achampong? Why? In fact, I feel cheated because the people of Brahafo deserve to have one of the honors conferred on Abronye, our regional chairman. And I believe that the people of Ashanti will also complain about why Chairman Wontumi was not awarded. Have we forgotten about the significance of state awards? It's been said that a nation that does not award its heroes is not worth dying for. So state awards are serious businesses. They must be reserved for people of distinction, people who have fought for a good cause. And if we award state honors to vigilante boys and girls, then that is what we are teaching the youth. That after all, it is all right to pick weapons and shoot at people. That after all, it is all right to loot state coffers when you are given the opportunity to serve as a minister. I want to suggest to the rest of Ghanaians that it is about time that we establish a proper committee backed by law that will help to determine who should earn a national award, and it should not be left to the whims and caprices of people like Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. without attempting to dilute the very wonderful statement by my General Secretary, I would like to end here and wish all of you a prosperous Mahama year.
Now, the Ghana Airports Company Limited says it will not back down in its quest to recover monies due it from various companies. This comes in the wake of controversy surrounding the closure of an aviation hub operated by McDan Company Limited. The airports company maintains McDan owes it at least $3.9 million and only paid 2 million cedis on 24th December. Now, let's show you the details of that statement issued by the Ghana Airports Company, reiterating its resolve to collect all monies owed the airport. McDan is required to pay the airport company 15% shares of the gross revenue as monthly revenue covering the period September 1, 2022 to November 30, 2024, which is also outstanding according to Ghana Airport Company Limited. They go on to say that it is also worthy to note that while McDan intimates that some of the lands acquired from Ghana Airports Company Limited as far back as 2015 are under litigation and therefore is requesting the airport company to hold on with collection of payments. Remember that McDan has said it had nothing to do with the terminal, but because of a land they had purchased from Airport Company Limited. McDan Company Limited has developed same lands with commercial buildings. That's what, the Airport Company Limited is saying now, situated on it and benefiting from rental proceeds on the built properties without paying ground rent to GACL. Prior suggested payment, according to managers of the airport, from McDan Company Limited, which was presented as far back as 2020, has also been in default. Therefore, it is their position to demand full payment of monies owed the airport. 4 other companies operating at the Kotoka International Airport were also closed for non-payment of their debts to GACL. And remember, this is really crucial because then the public discourse had been that it was targeting McDan's operations at the airport. They finally reiterate that they will continue to pursue all debts as they have always done throughout the years to retrieve monies owed the Ghana Airport Company Limited. But I can also tell you that the Chief Executive Officer of McDan Group, Kweku Aprumfi, says the company is in talks with Ghana Airports to ensure their private jet operations resume within 2 days to avert revenue losses.
The terminal itself, since inception, the rent that has accumulated, all our needs are accumulated, the rent that has come due is about $1.9 million. We've made payments to the tune of $1.3 million. So as the payments come due, we pay over the years. The balance that's owed is about $600,000, of which we made the 2 million CD payment just on Friday. We never received direct communication from Ghana Airport Company Limited outlining the issues that they had. We only talked to them. We're engaging them, and we believe we'll resolve this pretty soon. I'm hopeful in the next day or two we should be back, but it also depends on the response from their side as well. We will lose revenue. Ghana Airport will also lose revenue because, mind you, the agreement we have with Ghana Airport Company allows them to take a royalty out of the revenue that we make.
Do you believe that this could be politically motivated?
I don't have any evidence to believe that. We're a private business. We run business under regulation, just as any other entity that's heavily regulated. We have an inauguration coming up. There are a lot of private jets that will be coming into Ghana. It's not the right time for us to shut down the only private jet terminal that we have.
Well, you're watching NewsCentral live here on TV3. We'll take a quick breather. When we come back, more stories. Don't go away.
This is the reason why I love Ghana. Then the lottery aquari penty yenim se Ghana and Nadim Kunim.
We are one. Ghana as one.
We are proud about Ghana. Sabaya 2 years nano. Akos asundem ayen sha how we are.
Africa and the rest of the world salute Ghana.
Don't forget the lottery aquari penty. Love to all Ghanaians. The lottery aquari penty.
In the service of the day.
Ho, ho, ho. Now you know how I get to you with Super Joy. Super XP. That's what fuels my rounds. I get value for money, enjoy smooth rides, and it takes me further. I wish you safe drives and a Super XP Christmas. Ho, ho, ho. Here we go.
Celebrate with Go Super XP and enjoy our excellent range of products this festive season.
Goyle, good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Through every step of life's unpredictable journey, every moment counts. That's why you need a partner you can always trust for solutions, so you can be rest assured. Having impacted over 200,000 lives, processed over 4.2 million claims, partnered with over 400 corporations, paid out over 836 million Ghana cedis in claims, contracted over 1,600 healthcare facilities nationwide, and pioneered several innovations like free medicine delivery, an interactive mobile app, and more. You'll be surprised what can be accomplished in 20 years. We're part of the Nationwide family. Are you? Nationwide Medical Insurance. 20 years of leading the way.
215-100. In a world where every moment counts, one team stands ready to deliver the news that shapes our lives. A team driven by truth, integrity, and unwavering dedication. They travel to the front lines in the tireless pursuit of truth to bring you the world stories like never before. Get ready to witness the stories that matter. We have the most trusted voices in journalism who are committed to delivering accurate, balanced, and thought-provoking news. TV3, first in news. When the sun rises, there is hope. While this hope lingers on, the citizens look up to the government, the economy, the national development agenda, and everything in between. On Ghana Tonight, it's our utmost priority to bring you insightful conversations on the economy, break down the biggest issues while setting the agenda for transformation and national development. The big and important stories are treated from the human interest angle, while the facts and the figures are painted with precision. So now, let's cut the convention and start the conversation here on Ghana Tonight. I am your host, Alfred Okamsi.
Ghana Tonight shows Monday to Friday at 10 p.m. on TV3.
Brought to you by Flamingo Paint. Superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage, simply superior.
Welcome back. This is still NewsCentral live on TV3. Our coverage of the regions begins in the Ashanti region, where that region has so far recorded 5 confirmed cases out of the 69 suspected cases of cholera. Ibrahim Abubakar joins us for a bit more on details about this. Ibrahim, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Terminate.
What else do we know about the current state of the cholera cases in the Ashanti region?
Well, yes, indeed, 5 new cases have been recorded, and in 3 districts. One was recorded within the Kumasi metropolis, the other was recorded within the 5, and 3 other cases in Secretary South district. But fortunately, as we speak, all those 5 cases have been contained. The patients have been treated and also discharged. However, currently we have 2 new suspected cases receiving treatment, one at Konfanoti Teaching Hospital, which is in Kumasi, and the other at St. Michael Hospital, which is within the Bosomche district. So currently, that is the update. The 5 confirmed cases have been managed, though health authorities have begun tracing of contact, just so they will make sure that they will prevent the spread of these cases. So currently what they are doing is that the Ashanti Regional Health Directorate, led by Dr. Fred Adumako, has activated both the regional and district public health emergency committees in all these affected areas, and they've made sure that they have provided adequate medical supplies to these affected areas. Now we have 19 districts that have recorded some suspected cases, even though 4 of these districts have seen confirmed cases. But they are ensuring that all 43 districts have been provided with medical supplies so that in an event we record any cases, they will be able to manage it and contain the spread of these cases. And also, all health centers, they've ensured that they have created isolation centers or isolation corners in these areas so that any case that is brought there will be handled there. They don't want them to mingle with other patients so that they will be spreading the cases. So that is the cholera situation in the Ashanti region.
I see. How would you say health authorities are managing the situation to prevent any fatality?
Well, they have intensified surveillance. Like I said, they have activated regional and district emergency committees. They are also liaising with all the health facilities so that they create a space for containing of these situations. But one key thing that they have done in the past week and have intensified is public education, especially in the unitized time where people go out, each outside and direct. They have intensified education, making sure they are creating awareness of this disease so that people will be aware, people will be alert, and make sure that they will abstain themselves from things that will push them to contract the virus. Even though it is manageable, it is treatable. They just want people to move away from things that will aid them contract it so that it will also prevent the spread of this cholera in the coming weeks.
I see. How seriously are members of the public taking this?
Well, especially when we had 5 new cases have been recorded, and when you look at the current national figure, 35 people succumbing to cholera disease, obviously people are alarmed, people are worried, and we've had people who are even saying from now onwards, so they are certain that the case has been totally maintained. They are not eating from outside, and they will make sure they will even minimize their outing, and they are there. But there are others who are also say they will go out, they will enjoy because it is a festive season, but they will also take precaution and make sure that whilst enjoying, they will also protect themselves and their family from contracting the cholera. So yes, people are afraid, but health authorities have assured them that the 5 confirmed cases have been managed, and for that matter, there is no cause for alarm.
Very well, Ibrahim, thank you so much for the report. And Ibrahim, Abubakar has been giving us the latest on the cholera outbreak in the Ashanti region. We can now turn attention to the central region on other matters because the Bojiase District Police Command is investigating several cases of recruitment scam made against a former deputy youth organizer of the NPP in the Ewutu Senya West constituency. According to police, at least 60 victims of the alleged scheme have come forward since the arrest of the suspect. A Central Region correspondent, Akwesi Ado, joins us with a bit more on this story. Akwesi, good afternoon. What else are you learning about this story? Akwesi, we cannot hear you. You'd have to unmute.
Is it okay now?
We can hear you, yes.
Okay. So police at the Bojiase District Command have been receiving cases from
Oh, it appears Akwesi cannot connect with us. Very patchy connection there. But Akwesi is reported on the story of a recruitment scam. The police are saying at least 60 victims of the recruitment scam have come forward to make their cases against the NPP's deputy youth organizer in the Ewutu Senya West constituency. We also understand that full investigation into the issue is underway at the Bojiase District Police Command. Akwesi Ado has been following the story. Let's try him one more time. Akwesi, you were telling us what else you're learning about this recruitment scam?
Yes, so the first case was made to the police some 2 years ago. And then following that, the police launched an investigation into this war incident. But what happened was that the perpetrator, that is Kojo Opey, who is 50 years old, actually left the Bojiase area to an unknown location. And so it was just last Saturday when he was spotted at around Kwame Circle in Accra. And so he was arrested and then brought to the Bojiase police station. So since Saturday, according to the records available to us from police, we've had over 60 victims reporting to the police that they were allegedly scammed by this man who used to be the deputy NPP constituency youth organizer in the Ewutu Senya West constituency. These persons who are reporting to the police are those who paid monies to the perpetrator themselves, as well as those who paid on behalf of some other relatives. And so these persons are demanding that the police investigate the matter fully and ensure that their monies are paid back to them by the perpetrator.
Interesting, detail you're giving us. You mean this case is a 2-year-old investigation and the suspect has only now been arrested? But what was the nature of the scam?
Okay, so the nature of the scam is that Kojo Opey would, go to his victims and then lure them that he has connections with persons at the top hierarchies of various security services. And so he could secure their relative placement into these security services. So what we are learning is that initially he successfully enrolled some persons or connected some persons to be recruited by these security services. And then he expanded the scope. And then his operations failed. And so people realized that, no, this cannot be possible. So they began demanding for their money. And then they suddenly could not trace his whereabouts again, prompting them to report the matter to the police.
And how much did these victims pay?
Okay, so it ranges from between 5,000 Ghana cedis to as far as 45,000 Ghana cedis. And so normally it depends on the kind of security service the victim may want to be recruited into. So for instance, if you may want to be recruited into the immigration service, it is different from the amount that you would pay if you wish to be enrolled into either the police or the fire service.
I see. And you have been speaking to some of these victims. What do they say? What do they say or tell you they want now?
They are demanding for their money to be paid back to them, and also they want the various security services to ensure transparency in the recruitment process, just so others may not take advantage in letting any more Ghanaians.
Let's take a listen to them, Akwesi, and then we'll come back to you.
Them to do is help us take our money from him. At least you know where he send the money to, so he can actually direct us to the place to take our money back. All we want is our money.
He ran away. Sometimes we heard that he is at of one side that is a Kojo Pong Commerce area. We went there, couldn't find him. So it was 3 days ago that we heard that a certain lady saw him at the circle in Accra and then grabbed him. Even that one, it was difficult for him to bring him here because when he reported to the police station, the police said that they can't do that work. So through that, and a certain guy, by the help, he helped this woman, and then he got one policeman, and the policeman accompanied him to this place.
So we are appealing to the government and then this government that in their quest to recruit new people, they should make it public. Previously, you will see it in the daily news, you see it in graphic, TV stations will be publishing it, radio stations will be publishing it, but now you don't hear anything before you realize it is in the hands of the politicians and some few other party people. So this is how come things are happening. So if the government and the IGP, the authorities of the police service, will make things open for the general public, these things will be what? Will be kept so that we all have a peaceful nation, and then our youth will also get some work to do in a very visible way.
Police. Now, me 50 million family. Let me say 50 million. Kwa mi who be do? Me kwe phone. Me tutu phone. Into 50 million. No say. Me force. Me pay me bani ye ya. Nan me so. Me pay me bani ye. Na me di kain. O catch them. No say 3 days pay. Do that pay. Ye o jago friend. Na me ko bi mchen. Adaga bi mchen. Me ko je bosia. Na me de buy ye. Me de buy ye no be je 50 million. Best African na feni. I trying to say my shit. Me ko say sa. Me trying sa. We call the favor kono. Let's see what Johnny. The music now me gentle media police station.
We just heard from some victims of a recruitment scam in the Ewutu Senya West constituency. Investigations are fully underway at the moment. Also earlier was Akwesi Addo, a Central Region correspondent. Unfortunately, we can't go back to him because happening right now is that crucial meeting between the Electoral Commission and the NDC's parliamentary candidate for the Dom Kwabenya constituency. We want to bring you details of that right now. Armstrong Gold Alogbe is our correspondent on the ground at the offices of the Electoral Commission. Let's go there now.
Currently, as I speak to you now, the meeting is ongoing where we are told the EC chairperson is the one interrogating the agents. Earlier, we saw the NDC PC walk in. That is Kulugru. She's in there now with her party agent, and also I also saw Tanko Computer also in there. But we've not seen representatives of the NPP here so far. That is Magokwe Jr. and his team are not here. Nonetheless, the meeting is still ongoing, and we are told that in some few minutes they'll be done with the meeting, and then they'll come out and brief the media as to what transpired in there. Kamini.
The reason for the absence of the NPP's parliamentary candidate is unknown to us, so we do not know whether he was invited or this is just a solo meeting with the NDC's parliamentary candidate. Is that correct?
No, so I spoke with few people in there, and they said to me that the meeting was opened to both parties, the NDC and the MPP, and they don't know for which reason the NPP team did not show up here. But this, from the NDC people I met here earlier, they were explaining to me that they were not the only people that were invited to come into the meeting. The MPP was equally invited, just that they've not showed up. Maybe they will come later in the day, but it's not a case where just the NDC candidate and her agents were invited. Both parties, we are told, were all invited to come into the meeting, Kamini.
We know there have been discussions, in fact, more like an announcement of a rerun of the election in polling stations in Abokobi. What are you surmising or picking up that this meeting could be about?
So this meeting, we are told the AC chairperson is interrogating some of the agents at the police station where it's under contention now, and then for her, she's trying to find out from them what exactly transpired on the said day, and asking them if they have proof to show, and that's what we are told is currently happening in there. I spoke with some of the NDC guys that were in the meeting, asking them what exactly is happening, also if they are ready for the rerun. For them, they believe that we've not gotten to the point where the rerun should take place, and they have all their results. There's proof as to the numbers, all the numbers the NDC got, the numbers MPP also got on the said date. So far as the agents are still there, people took pictures of the counting on that day. There's no need for them to go and have the rerun. So for them at the NDC side, they are not ready for the rerun, and they are still waiting to hear what the AC chair have to say after today's meeting. But for the NDC, they've even said that that place, the Abokobi Women Training Center police station, is their stronghold. And definitely, should this election be rerun over there, they are definitely going to win. And let's also not forget that the last collation they did at the EC office, the NDC was in a lead with at least not less than some 100 votes. So if you are going to the Abokobi Women Training Center police station, which happens to be the stronghold for the NDC, obviously the NDC believes they are going to carry the day. So why go through this stress? Well, you can just talk to the agents to clarify and also show proof of the counting that went on that day, so that this rerun will not happen. So the NDC are saying that they are not ready for this rerun, and but the MPP, we are here to hear what they have to say, whether they are ready for the rerun or not. Kemeni.
We'll keep an eye on events there. Thank you so much, Armstrong Gold Alogbe. It's our correspondent station at the offices of the Electoral Commission, where we understand that a meeting is ongoing at the moment between the Commission and the NDC, specifically with the parliamentary candidate for the Dom Kwabenya constituency, Faustina Elipini Akrogo. Your live here will take another breather. Don't go away.
You know, one bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior. You know, one bucket of flamingo paint is equal to several buckets of any other paint brand on the market. Flamingo paint, superior durability, superior hiding, superior coverage. Flamingo paint, simply superior.
Tamale, are you ready for the biggest New Year pool party? Yes, on the 1st of January 2025, the second edition of KD's All-White New Year Party is happening live with the legendary Abranti Abachi Dede. Last year, the fun and enjoyment was on a different level, but trust me, this year is gonna be fantabulously better. Come, let's start the year with a positive vibe with families and friends at King David, the finest entertainment complex inside Tamale. Come and indulge in luxury, wine and dine at our exquisite restaurant where every bite tells a story. KD's Pizza and KD's Special Choco Grill Guinea Fowl with hot or malpin. When the sunset, the party begins at KD's nightclub or pub with live band settings every weekend. Top-notch security system, both physical and electronic. You are safe to party with us on the 1st of January 2025 at the KD's All-White New Year Party.
Tamale. Never bound for. The Baba Jim money, very January. Love you, Tamale. I love
Through every every step of life's unpredictable journey. Every moment counts. That's why you need a partner you can always trust for solutions, so you can be rest assured. Having impacted over 200,000 lives, processed over 4.2 million claims, partnered with over 400 corporations, paid out over 836 million Ghana cedis in claims, contracted over 1,600 healthcare facilities nationwide, and pioneered several innovations like free medicine delivery, an interactive mobile app, and more. You'll be surprised what can be accomplished in 20 years. We're part of the Nationwide family. Are you? Nationwide Medical Insurance, 20 years of leading the way.
This is Hot Issues, your passport to the most compelling conversations of our time. We go one-on-one with the movers and shakers, the thought leaders, and the game changers. We ask the questions that matter, and we don't back down.
Tonight on Hot Issues, I sit with the man at the Center of Corruption Investigations.
Join me on Hot Issues here on TV3.
Hot Issues shows Sundays at 2 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
The news never stops. If it's not breaking, developing, the news lends itself to significant analysis, broad context through explainers, and the features that give stories more life. That's what we offer on Weekend Central. News, features, analysis, the full package. Weekend Central, Saturdays and Sundays at 12 p.m. on TV3.
TV3, first in news.
Welcome back. In a year filled with drama in every sector, the courts became the stage for some of the most gripping stories, political intrigue, high-stake corruption trials, and landmark rulings that shook this nation. From intense courtroom exchanges to judgments that redefined legal precedents, the judiciary proved once again that the wheels of justice turn steadily, even under immense scrutiny. As the gavel falls, on 2024, Lord Eduasare highlights some cases that dominated headlines and sparked nationwide conversations.
Both the lower and superior courts adjudicated several cases and delivered life-altering judgments which changed the status quo in some sectors of the country. Let's start with the Supreme Court.
In April, the Apex Courts ruled unanimously that Parliament's decision to pay salaries to wives of the President and Vice President was unconstitutional. In two separate suits filed by MP for South Dai, Roxanne Nelson Dafemekpo, and NPP Bono Regional Chairman Kwame Bafo Abronye, the Supreme Court held that the offices of the wives of the President and his wife were not Article 71 office holders under the Constitution. Another case that tested the resolve of the highest courts of the land was that of parliamentary seats of 4 MPs declared vacant by the Speaker after 3 decided to go independent and an independent MP cleared to contest on party ticket. A 7-member panel of justices led by Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu delivered a 5-2 majority decision in favor of Majority Leader Afenyo Makin, who had filed a suit challenging the Speaker's declaration. The Supreme Court had previously issued an interim injunction to prevent the implementation of the Speaker's ruling. Speaker Bagbin filed a counter-application in response, arguing that parliamentary decisions are beyond the judiciary's reach as they pertain to non-judicial matters. After 2 years of fighting his case at the High Court, former Deputy Finance Minister Dr. Kieso Atuforson was acquitted and discharged by the Court of Appeal. The minority leader, together with 2 others, Dr. Sylvester Animana and Richard Jakpa, a businessman, had been charged with causing €2.37 million financial loss to the state in an ambulance purchase deal. The High Court in March 2023 had ordered Dr. Kieso Atuforson to open his defense after ruling that the prosecution had established enough evidence against him and the 2 accused persons. But in a 2-1 majority decision on July 30, 2024, The Court of Appeal held that enough evidence was not provided by the prosecution to warrant Dr. Atto-Forson to open his defense. In a landmark ruling, the Apex Court unanimously dismissed 2 cases filed by a journalist and a researcher against the Human Sexual Rights and Family Values Bill, also known as the Anti-LGBTQ Bill. Richard Delaskai and Dr. Amanda Odoy filed suits challenging the constitutionality of the anti-gay bill, describing it as one that infringes on the rights of Ghanaians. The suits also indicated that the bill failed to go through approved parliamentary due process. But a 7-member panel led by Justice Averill Lovelace Johnson described the suits as premature since the bill had not yet become law. The Supreme Court's decision paved the way for the president to assent the bill to become law. The High Court saw most of the cases that made the headlines in the country. In January, agreed family members of slain Major Maxwell Adam Mahama got some form of reprieve after a 7-member jury found 12 accused persons guilty of conspiracy to commit murder and murder. The trial, which spanned 7 years, saw some of the accused jailed for life. 2 persons, Bismarck Donko and Bismarck Abanga, however, stepped out as free men. Mother of the victim was overcome with emotions.
Rotten hell, may they never come out. And any government that would ever come into power, that would give any of them, what do they call it, parole or whatever, that government would have my son's blood on their hands.
6 Ghanaians, including 3 soldiers, were sentenced to death by hanging for their involvement in a coup plot in April 2021. The trial, which was the first since 1966 when the country's first president, Kwame Nkrumah, was overthrown, also saw the acquittal and discharge of Assistant Commissioner of Police Dr. Benjamin Agojo, Colonel Samuel Kojo Gameli, and 1 other junior military officer, Corporal Seidu Abubakar. They all pleaded not guilty to conspiracy to commit high treason and committing high treason.
From the beginning, I knew that is how it's going to end today. I didn't know when it was going to end, but I knew how it was going to end. It's like watching a movie, a replay with somebody. You know the end, but the person doesn't know. So you people didn't know the end. I knew the end. So you're confident right now? I was too confident.
I was praying for God to answer my prayer and take me out of this issue for part of 5 years.
The gruesome murder of a 10-year-old boy by his friends for money rituals at Kaswa sent shivers down the spine of many, especially parents across the country. The 2 teenagers, 18 and 15 years, were found guilty on 2 counts of conspiracy to commit murder and the substantive charge of murder by a 7-member jury whose decision was unanimous. 18-year-old Nicholas Kinney was sentenced to life in prison for the offense, which was committed in 2021. Sentencing of the 15-year-old was, however, deferred to the juvenile court in line with Section 18(1) of the Juvenile Justice Act 2003, Act 653. Another murder case, this time involving the former Member of Parliament for Ibokwa North, Joseph Boachidankwa, concluded after 8 years of court proceedings. Daniel Esiedu, also known as Sexy Dondon, who had been slapped with charges of robbery and killing of the late MP, was found not guilty by a 7-member jury in a 4-3 decision. The split decision forced the presiding judge to discharge the jury in accordance with Section 2854 of the Criminal and Other Offences Procedure Act 1960, Act 30, and ordered a retrial of the case. At the circuit courts, 54 protesters who hit the streets to demonstrate against illegal mining and its effects on the environment and general well-being of Ghanaians were arrested and prosecuted by the state. After almost 3 months of court hearings, 24 protesters were acquitted and discharged as prosecution did not have enough evidence to proceed. Convener of the group, Oliver Bakavomao, called on President-elect John Mahama to keep his word and drop the charges against him and his comrades. The family of victims of the East Legon accident, which led to the death of 2 12-year-old girls, are calling for amendment of the Juvenile Justice Act to impose stiffer punishments to minors who engage in heinous crimes. The family in juvenile court sentenced 16-year-old son of leader of Alive Chapel International, Bishop Salifu Amakon, to 6 months after he pleaded guilty to charges including manslaughter.
The curtains cannot be drawn without highlighting the decision of the Apex Court in the suits by the National Democratic Congress against the High Court's ruling, which ordered the Electoral Commission to collate and declare results of some 4 disputed constituencies in the parliamentary elections in 2024. 2025 promises to be another year packed with court cases. We'll see how things will look like. Lodi Dwasari, TV3 News, Accra.
bringing us to a close on News Central, the very last one for this year. Happy New Year's Eve to you. Catch me under the moon sometime later at midnight. My name is Kemini Amano. I enjoy the moment. Next is the afternoon show with Anita. Bye-bye.